Welcome to Music Matters Podcast with Daryl Craig Harris, talking about all things music with celebrities, artists, music business insiders, and more.
Hello, Stéphane Schück. And I try to pronounce your name. We try to practice run, but pronounce your first name for me.
Stéphane.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. You got it.
Okay, good. I can't even pronounce my own name, so there you go. So you have a group. It's a band, but it's actually the name says it all. It's the Salt Collective, which exactly. is your first album, which was out in 2023. Was recorded kind of around the world. Many people had contributed from home studios and used some main studios. And this is the next album that's coming out. The Brief History of Blindness comes out November 21st. And this album you recorded kind of with a core group of musicians, but still using people from around the world. Tell me about the new album and how you guys originally got together.
Yes, I think the collective is something really interesting as a musician, because at the beginning of the story, it was me and my two bandmates based in Paris. Mm-hmm. We were the Salt. The band was Salt. And then we have an incredible story with getting closer to Chris Stamey, and we start collaborations with a lot of musicians, and we have a very special way to doing these things. I wrote first the music, I'm writing the songs, and we have collaboration with singers, and they have totally freedom to add what they want to sing about the lyrics and about the melodic lines, and it's a really true collaboration. And it's really exciting because, each member adds some kind of layer to the song, and you saw the song is getting better and better with all these people together. And I think it's really the essence of music, it's collaboration. Because you can write all the thing alone in your corner, in your room, but having all this interaction. And that's true that at the first album, interaction coming from the old world, running from home studios and, sharing internet files. But for this one, A Brief History of Blindness, we recorded with a core band at Fidelitorium. It's a studio of Mitch Easter, and we recorded live in the studio. So it's kind of different feeling,
Yeah, and I like, you hear the different influences, but the whole album, which I just listened to, it has cohesion. It all works together, which is very challenging when you use that many different musicians and collaborators. How did you come about that with the production, and did you intentionally try to make it a cohesive, collaborative work?
Yes, we try with Chris to keep the coherence, because all the songs are nearly some different words, and different feelings. But as I wrote nearly all the songs, there's kind of manner of cohesion. Even if we have all these different singers and all these different musicians, we spend a lot of time with Chris, trying to get the things stuck together. And I think
that's your producer, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Chris was a producer, but he was also a musician on certain songs. He also wrote a song for this album in collaboration with Andy Partridge from XTC, which is something really amazing. But there's a lot of work of production and some back and forth between me and Chris about this. And I think it's coherent. All the songs together, even if they are very different.
Yeah, I think, and it all works together. And it's interesting because you also have the arrangements are very nice. I think with the strings and the vocals, it's very, it's intricate, but it's also simple in a way. Who were some of your influences as a young artist? Who were some of the bands and artists that you looked up to?
Well, I can say I'm living a dream. I know that you are loving music. Of course, you're a music lover. And just the story that happened to me is just incredible because my main influence when I was a teenager was the DBs.
Okay.
Yeah, really. The first album from the two first album from the DBs. It was almost the band. When I listened to them at the time, I say I want to play music because I want to do songs like the DBs,
Okay.
And now I'm working with them.
I was gonna say yes. So you end up collaborating with some of them. Yeah.
That's incredible. So yes, the DBs is a huge influences, and of course the Beatles. Because when you are a music player, Beatles is just like grammar, and my oldest son is called Lennon. So just to show you.
Okay. So the influence is very strong. Yeah. I used to actually. So I'm a bass player. I used to play with Billy Preston, which is the keyboard player. So that was. I always feel like the Beatles is kind of like a faraway family. I guess I don't know in some way.
Congrats.
Maybe my imagination. I don't know.
Yeah.
So when you are you writing by yourself? Are you writing with other people? How does that? Is it all the songs kind of written by you? How does that work for you in that process?
The process is the first thing I do is I wrote a song. With playing the guitar, the bass, and the drums, and it's kind like of a big piece of stone, a big stone, and then I ask to the bass player, how can you improve this? And the drummer will say, I feel this better, and so there is something to start from with, and then after it's layer and layer, and Chris has a very, very, very big importance in the process because he listens to the songs and say, you should play the pre-chorus 2 times or change these chords and try this. And by example, Cloud to Cloud, our last single, I guess there are maybe 15 versions. Before we've got the final version, of saying, we're going to play this part here and this part here and this part here. It's kind of big construction, and it's very exciting because you see the song is moving and
and it's good to have. I find for me anyway, it's good to have another pair of ears to hear to hear, and then you maybe they think of stuff that you would not think of or a different approach. Do you find that's helpful?
Exactly. And I have a lot of people that are involved in the first version. My wife,
okay.
Yeah, the best ear I can do. I ask, what do you think? Should I go on with this or not? And my daughter, even if they are not listening at all at the same music as me,
Yeah, but that's good. It's good though to have that completely different perspective. Huh?
Exactly. So sometimes they say, no, I don't feel it, or there's a good beat or something like this. So.
When you were a young musician just starting out to play, who was because you play guitar, correct?
Yes.
Who was specifically like your guitar influences? Who were people that you really looked to for inspiration from that?
Well, I'm 57 years old, and when I started guitar, I was a little old. I was around 14 years old. Okay. 15 years old, and it was exactly the period of the punk music.
Okay.
And I listened a lot to the Clash, Joe Strummer, and I like the way he was strumming, of course. And anyway, of course, George Harrison was a big influence for me.
George Harrison was quite a good guitar player. He doesn't always get as much credit for playing guitar, but he was very good guitar player.
Incredible. It was, and maybe, we made a cover from a EP that we have released with Salt Collective, and we made a cover of Harrison song from the Beatles, and it was really exciting to play this music. And I think this is one of the guitarists I like the most, maybe because he's very good technically, but he's got something special. And it speaks to my ears and my brain a lot.
Yeah, and he was very melodic. He played melodic solos. It wasn't just a bunch of notes. Yeah.
Exactly. I hate big solos with some kind of heroic solos. But Harrison is really good.
Yeah, and I think you can kind of hear a little bit of the Beatles' influences in your string arrangements. Who did the string arrangements? Who did the string arrangements for you? Was that you, or was it somebody else? Or?
It's a lot of Chris.
Okay. What's Chris's last name?
Stamey.
Okay, cool.
Chris Stamey. He founded the DBs, and Chris is an incredible producer, an incredible musician, and sometimes I told to him, maybe we should have strings at this place. And he wrote the arrangement and make a mock-up really quick and say, is this something like this? And after, we have some incredible musicians that played on Brief History of Blindness, especially on the strings. And I like this kind of mix between, the strings, the guitars. It's really exciting as a musician.
Yeah, and the string arrangements they're somewhat complicated because they're not busy, but they have the chordal structure is very interesting. I was kind of paying attention to that. I'm like, oh, that's cool, like very unique, very unique.
Yeah, because sometimes it's very tricky. You have to find the right threshold, between the strings.
Yeah, the tension. Yeah.
And sometimes there's some friction, but you have to change that into tension.
Right.
And I think that the strings arrangement brings some tension, and then there's release. And when you get this, you can say it's a good arrangement. I think.
Yeah, it tells a story within the song, like a separate story, kind of cohesive.
Exact.
Yeah.
Exact.
Yeah, and that was definitely a Beatles thing. You hear George Martin, some of the stuff that he did was very much like that.
Yeah. We always go back to the Beatles, but they were so incredibly good.
Yeah, it's a good it's a good, like they say, like a touchstone, like a good Bible to pull from.
Yeah. And what I like a lot with the strings, sometimes it brings some not really sadness, but something very emotional,
like melancholy, maybe. Yeah,
exactly, melancholy. And what I prefer is melancholic song with high tempo. When you have a beat around 140, between 140 and 150, so you've got this big beat, and then you've got the melancholy of the strings, and I think
it's a nice kind of like this kind of it's a nice rub together. You get the you get the tension, but you also get the feeling of like an open feeling, and it's very good. Yeah.
Correct.
Tell me about so you have the two singles have been released. The one just came out. Tell me about your two singles that you just released recently.
The first was In the Shadow of the Moon, and it's a song I wrote a long time ago. And then I worked with Lynn Blakey on these songs, who put out the lyrics and the melodic lines. And I like her so much. I really like her voice. She's singing, and so I sent her only the chords, and the beat, and she came out with the melodic line, and I say, well, that's perfectly fit to the song. And then we have very good luck because Mike Mills, the bass player from R.E.M., know very well Lynn, and he sings with her on the single. And the two vocals blind together. Sometimes Lynn sings something and Mike does some answer.
Yeah, and it kind of interweaves. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And what I really like is, when you have a female vocal and a male vocal, and when they are, interpenetration.
Yeah, like dancing together. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of bands like this. I think at For me, the master of that was Scott Miller from Game Theory.
Yeah.
He always blinds some vocal between males and vocals. After there was the New Pornographer, bands like that, So, and I've got this feeling with the first single. So I was very happy, and Lynn made a wonderful job on this song.
Yeah, her voice is very interesting, and the melody is really fun to hear. Very fun to listen. And like you say, they do a little bit of a dance together during the song.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's fun.
Exactly.
Tell me about growing up as a young musician. Did you grow up in Paris or?
I grew up in Normandy.
Oh, Normandy. Okay.
Yeah. And it was interesting because when we were young, a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty close. I'm 60, so I'm not too far. I'm not too far ahead of you.
Okay. So I was born at the end of the 60s, in 68. But when I was a young boy in Normandy, we can have some English radio.
Okay.
Because it's not so far away.
Yeah, coming across the channel. Yeah.
Yeah, just across the channel, and so I grew up with all the English radio and listened to rock very young with this, because in France we don't have a heavy tradition of rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like singers like crooner. Crooner, and with very important into the vocals and not the music. So we were kind of outliers when we were young, because we were fascinated by rock and roll and the guitars and the melody. And so there was a little, all my friends at the time, and they are still my friends, and they are playing with me into Salt, we were totally fascinated by music. We always speak music, we always share some records, we always listen to the radio and say, do you listen to the last Stranglers or the last Cure? And,
yeah. Because this obviously is way before the YouTube and all the stuff that we know today that we take for granted. Yeah. Back then, it was, if you heard a favorite song, you had to wait again till it came back on the radio, or you had to go buy the song. You can't just, look it up on YouTube.
Exactly. And at the time, because music is not my first job. I mean, in real life, I'm a medical doctor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, and I'm working a lot into the oncology field and things like that.
Yeah.
And so music has always been kind of, little windows into my head to...
Yeah, a nice like a release for you, yeah?
Yeah. And so I have some very special way of feeling music, because I'm sure you can understand this because you are a music lover, but sometimes when you listen to a song, you feel good. You feel really good inside your body. And this is just because the music releases some dopamine into your brain. And some people are more sensible to this or not. And when you've got this, and I'm sure you have this, when you listen to a song that really speaks to you, it's kind of, relief and...
like a spiritual,
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. And I think, even still, it's interesting because I know a lot of musicians that are not doctors, but also in medical, and it's a creative field as well. And I think that, it's the intellect. That's something that's connected there with that. They're creative, and then also knowing how to get stuff done, knowing how to... the academic part of it, because the music, as you know, to be successful, you have to have both. You have to have the creative, but then you also have to have the determination to...
Exactly.
It has to work together. Otherwise, nobody gets a chance to hear your music, I think.
Yes, it's very interesting what you are saying, because I always find there are some connection between medicine and music. By the way, there is some music therapy. We're using music in kind of mental health trouble or things like that, and we have some results, and I always find this very interesting. But sometimes it's this two life.
Double life, yeah.
Yeah, double life. It's very interesting because when you're fed up with one, you go to the other one.
Yeah. And it's the same for me because I'm a Sports Illustrated photographer. I do sports
Oh,
photography, but I'm also a musician, and I've been
okay.
doing both for a long time. So it's nice to have different things because if you only do one thing in life, you're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
so
yeah,
limited to yourself
yeah.
that you should try different things, and it all helps the overall,
Of course.
any kind of education helps everything, I think.
Yeah. Photography. I love photography. I do photography a lot.
Yeah, it's
I
very
think it's the
it's
same vibe.
yeah, very close to music. It's very kind of the same parts of your brain that start firing, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, what would be some advice that you would give? Because you've been doing this for your entire life. What would be some advice for young musicians and young artists that you would give that you've learned
Well,
some key things?
I think my life in music is such an incredible thing. I told you that now I'm playing with my idols
Yeah,
when I was
yeah,
a teenager, and all the people that we have in the collective is just incredible. I mean, Matthew Coase from Nada Surf,
yeah.
Andy Partridge, Chris Stamey, Lynn Blakey, Mitch Easter. I mean, I listened to them when I was a teenager. I
Yeah,
have the records, and today I'm playing with them. We
mm.
became friends, and we made some tour together.
Yeah, you become
So
like colleagues. Yeah.
yes, kind of colleagues, and we had an interaction in the way we are working together in music, which is just incredible. So I think that the strong advice is to never give up because
Mm.
sometimes you can say but you have to play all the time and try to keep it's easy to say live your dream and but sometimes it works. So
Yeah, I think you know what, and what I've also often said is that, and this is in life in general, that it's often the people that are not necessarily the most talented. It's the people that never give up, and the people
yeah.
that just focus
Mm,
and
mm.
they give everything. Because talent can only take you so far. You have to have the other part.
Absolutely. And if something doesn't work, try again and try
Mm.
to see it in a different way. And in music, it's really true. When you are stuck in the middle of a song and you don't find the next chorus or things like that, just try to play the song not on guitar but on piano or to
Yes. Yep.
try other things. And sometimes there's a little sparkle that will bring you the part of the song. So this could be an advice. Just never give up.
Yeah, and it's very important, and also the business part of it too. Like no, it's okay to learn the business because it's important to protect yourself, your rights, and your music, and all
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. You have
all
to be in many, many, many fields. Mm.
exactly. Um,
Yeah.
tell people how they can find your music if you have a website, that kind of information.
Yes, we have a website and we have some social media because we are signed with the label Propeller. They're doing a very good job, and so we can find us on Facebook, Instagram at Salt Collective,
Okay, cool. And I will
and
put. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
and on all the platforms, Spotify.
And are you
So
for the new release for A Brief History of Blindness? Is that coming in vinyl as well?
yes, it will come in vinyl and CD, of course,
Yeah.
and really soon now, at the end of November.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have the vinyl. It's just something very
Yeah,
like they say like tactile to be able to touch and
absolutely. And we grew up with vinyl.
yeah.
I learned music with vinyl, and I'm pretty happy that that young people now are very in vinyl.
Mm.
Um, you
Yeah,
can say,
I do think it sounds better for me.
yeah. I always find it sounds better. Sometimes you can say, well, it's because they are old people and they say that it was better before, but that's not
Yeah.
true. It's really better.
Yeah. I have a memory.
It's warmer.
I have a memory as a child. My mother and father had a large record collection, and we had
Yeah.
a big gigantic tube stereo.
Oh, okay.
And the record's playing on that, and it was just such a huge, huge sound. And I always sticks in my head that I kind of wish I had one of those to play vinyl on. It'd be fun to listen to.
Yeah. I always try this, because I have my turntable and the CD player and listen to the same song in vinyl, and then immediately you feel the things. But in other way, CD is not really bad at all. But yes, the next album we will find it in vinyl.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing the full album. I checked it out last night. I had the preview links, and everything was really interesting. I love the approach. I love the kind of the small orchestra, and the arrangements, as I mentioned, are great. You and Chris did a fantastic job, along with the other musicians and vocalists. So it's very exciting. It's nice to discover new music for me. That's something I love about doing the podcast. I get to hear groups that I would not normally hear, which is exciting.
Yeah. I'm so happy with this album, So of course I listen to the song a lot of time because we work very hard on it. But I guess it's kind of synthesis, of all the music we love, and we find a very good mix and blend, and all the singers bring something different. We also have Jason Faulkner, who did a wonderful job on the song, and Matthew, of course, and we also have Amy Mann. Yeah, who is singing and
awesome. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I love her so much. And when she accepted to sing on this song, it was something totally crazy for me. I didn't sleep during 2 nights, maybe. So exciting,
Yeah. But you're doing great work, and that makes people interested. They want to hear what you're doing, and to create with you is exciting. It's always great to find new people to work with, and find new approach is very good. I think it's very good. Stéphane, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I didn't pronounce your name too badly.
But yes, it's really good. And by the way, so sorry for the French accent.
Oh, no, I like it. I worked with Cirque du Soleil for many years as a musician, so I'm used to the French. But that's French Canadian accent is a bit different. But I prefer the authentic French.
I'm starting to make progress, but there's still a lot of work.
No, it's good. No problem. I understand you perfectly. Well, great. Well, have a great day in Normandy, or evening, I should say. And
yes.
I will let you know when this comes out. I'll send you links and all that great stuff. Yes.
Okay, and thank you for your time, and thank you for your ears, and thank you for listening to the album, and thank you for this moment. It was really cool.
Oh, same for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have an awesome evening in Normandy.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Ciao.
Thanks for joining us, and please consider subscribing to our podcast and follow us on our social media pages for guest announcements.